everyone. Welcome to today's Hour of Power session. Good to see you all here today. We're going to take it easy and discuss the very juicy topic Bitcoin, a very dynamic store of value, and has emerged as such over the past 10 years. Yeah. So it's going to be good today. Just gonna chillax with it a little bit. I like my arena bread. Big ups to everyone that's joining us in the arena, to you on X and YouTube. Just taking it easy today because this topic, Bitcoin emerging as a better store of value. I'm speaking from some experience here with dealing with different assets over, let's say, the last decade, just to keep it fair. Over the last decade, I know. I need some bread. There's Matthew needed bread. Let's man shall not live by bread alone, Matthews. But good to see you in the house. Let me welcome everyone again to Hour of Power. This session here, more chillax. Going to focus on, if you want to call Bitcoin bread, it is. It is bread. It feeds a lot of people, made a lot of millionaires, and for all the diamond hands and all the hodlers from the inception of this technology, it has been a tremendous blessing, or what I should say, it's like manna raining down bread from heaven. Bitcoin. Hold on one second. Let me do a few things here. Welcome. Running a little behind today, but you know me. We get it going. All right. You know what? I'll just play a little song here as I get set up here today. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. It just gets you grayer and older and wrinklier faster. That's what I usually say. But yeah, let me set up a few more things here, play a song while I get a few invitations out, things like that. Money, 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 money. We talking about Bitcoin, right? We talking about money. We talking about this revolutionary technology. So let's hear from my original song, Money, Money. Them not got no time for the Almighty. Arena King is in the house. Bless up, bless up. SM is in the house. Bless up, Matthew in the house. MD in the house. Ali, how you guys are doing? Them not got no time. Oh, I miss it. Let me check on my X here. Oh, yeah. Money go. Looking good over there. Yeah, oh, yeah. I have I've been dealing with a few things as far as the liquid ability of properties versus the liquid ability of coins like Bitcoin, of course, being the OG. And when I reference Bitcoin, I'm pretty much covering the cryptocurrencies there as far as Ethereum, Solana, whatever your value that you are betting on. A lot of people don't want to get on Bitcoin now. They think the train is left station. It's not too late for you guys. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You just DCA is the deal. If you've been doing it a long time, you're in a better position. If you start now, you'll look back and say, "Hey, I should have, coulda, woulda, shoulda." But don't do that. Don't coulda, woulda, shoulda. Just do it like Nike. It's all across average. Of course, this is not financial advice, but I'm telling you, being in the game since 2017, I'm telling you, it has come a mighty long way. Would you agree? Money got more sense than the human. Yeah. Bless up to man call Arena Kings in the house. Bless up to SM. Bless up. You know what? If you guys will give me a solid quote, repost the page, tell them, hey, Jerry is here in the house. Poppy is bringing fresh bread from Bitcoin all the way down to Manna. The bread is going to be served warm today. Yeah. Oh, money can't buy slow. No. Now let's rain some bread. Somebody said they wanted bread. Okay, I heard you. I heard you. Let's rain some bread in the house. The early bird catches the worm. That's what I'm talking about. Raining some bread in the house. Sylvester, if you hear me, I need to replenish my bakery, buddy. Handing out that bread like it's going out of season. Oh, money can. Lord, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's start off a little bread. Let's get some appetizers going in here. Bless up to each and every one of you. Again, like I said, this topic today, talking about Bitcoin emerging as real dynamic value, monetary value, store of value. Bitcoin over the past 10 years has outperformed. It has performed in such a way that when you look back over the past 10 years alone, even though it's more than 15 years old, you can see that. And what I want to compare it to today to keep it simple is just Bitcoin versus property. Bitcoin versus property, the store of value, how it has emerged over the past 10 years, 5 years. I mean, as recent as 5 years. My good God, you wish you can get in there even a couple of years ago, right? So, how has it emerged? I want to talk about the liquid dynamics of Bitcoin, how, as an investor, when you're invested into real properties, development, land, house, apartments, whatever it is, commercial buildings. If you had matched it up pound for pound, and Michael Saylor said it way better than me. Hey, Marani, how are you? Salaam alaikum, my brother. How are you? If you put it pound for pound over the past 10 years, you would quickly discover that had you bought a little bit of Bitcoin. I started in 2017, so let's take my case. I bought some Bitcoin, but averaging 6,000, and what it's running at right now, whatever you're holding on, whether it's, you didn't even need a whole Bitcoin, even if you had bought a half a Bitcoin, or a quarter of Bitcoin back in 2017 when I started, you, yeah, you know, it'd been a nice portfolio, a nice growth in your portfolio right there. Alongside, I remember XRP at 19 cents, Dogecoin at 0.003, and Solana, we got a nice dip when Bankman Fried messed up on Solana and Alameda there. That was a nice little dip by. I think it went back down to like $8 or something, as recent as 2018, 2019. So, depend on where you're coming in to store this value on whatever it is you're holding. And so many other coins, right? I'm just going over some of the top 10 there, that's been doing very well. This Bitcoin store of value has really, really emerged as one liquid dynamic store of value asset. I mean, you can hardly contain the doggone thing, which is why I have to put all these words together, right? To try to contain Bitcoin, good God Almighty, it's a pretty daunting thing to do. Dealing with Bitcoin, it's so versatile in its use case. When you look at it from like the governmental standpoint, where our president Donald Trump is talking about uh, bringing into act a Bitcoin reserve, like a Bitcoin, and making it a Bitcoin reserve currency for the United States. I mean, it's a whole nother use case. And now the banks and you don't even want to hear Michael Saylor talk about it. He's a Bitcoin preacher. This guy, Michael Saylor. Go listen to some of his original store of value of Bitcoin, the intrinsic value of Bitcoin. The guy is over the top when it comes to that, right? But you know what? He's doing well. Has not been proven wrong. I want to play another song right here. One of my songs. You know me. Hour of Power, feed you some bread, some from heaven, some from the stock market. Let's play Way Home. Yeah, 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 yeah. Nice up to everyone, man. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for sending out the quote repost to the space. One is yours truly. God is on his way home. I'm gonna give you bread here on earth. I'm gonna give you the heavenly bread. The man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bless up, Blake. How are you? Thanks for coming in. Yeah, one of my originals right here. Keeping it balanced, mind, body, and spirit. Welcome, welcome. You're new to the arena. How did you hear about it? Nice, 2 days old. Well, I'm going on 7 months old. I remember my first couple of days. It's a learning curve, but it's well worth it. Um, it's a learning curve because we do so much over here, right? So just take the time. There's a lot of stages that's going to help you. Get on Zen Girl stage. I'll do the best I can today to help you. But pretty much just click and find out what this does and what this does, and coins and launches and tickets and fees and now creative fees is getting ready to come out. Mobile is getting ready to launch. It's a lot, but take your time. Learn as much as you can. I'm over here because I believe that this financial social platform is one of the new disruptive ways of benefiting people all over the world, right? Uh, Come in, learn, and apply. Come in, learn, and apply. And you'll be good. Good to have you, bro. Thanks for the call. No, 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 no. What? Poppy Abrams, point the microphone stand. The word of God is in your heart. The Bible is in your hand. God already commands me. Come to Revelation. Let's start from one. Mark, Luke, John. Yeah, 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 yeah. Dirk, I see you in the house, brother. How are you today? Thanks for coming in, man. I'm telling you, you guys are amazing. You're amazing. Every Wednesday, every Sunday, you guys are showing up for Poppy. See you there, Ari. Thanks for coming in the house. Sit back, relax, enjoy this educational session. Today, I'm doing it a little different. You get some bread, but I want to show and I want to talk about some experiential application for Bitcoin, properties, store of value, intrinsic value, and of course, we'll talk about trying to navigate this dynamic of what this new technology is presented for us. It's a gift, guys. We just got to learn about this gift and govern ourselves accordingly. It's no different than when the internet, came about, when email replaced the fax machine, your telephone jack in the wall and replaced by the smartphone. It's Bitcoin, it's blockchain technology, it's the new revolution in moving value and assets around the world. Good God Almighty, blockchain technology. Simply Bitcoin. Because sooner, prepare from both sides, preparing the war, preparing the heavenly journey. Yeah. Be oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Yeah. Bless up all the people them in Jamaica. Thank God the storm has passed you guys. And I pray that your rebuild and your loss will be recovered. So you guys working together. We pray for you guys. Look at the storm. Scared us a little bit. I appreciate that Melissa moving around. And I know it's a lot of damages, but I'm telling you, based on what they were saying, man, it could have been so much worse. So big up and blessed up to all Jamaicans all over the world that was sitting at the edge of their seat or the ones that was hunkering down and came through that Melissa storm, this catastrophic hurricane. Bless up to you and continued prayers as you guys go through your recovery stage. I pray that everything would move along well for you all over there on the island. Not just the island of Jamaica, but any other island of Cuba and everything that Melissa is headed towards right now, and all of the other adjacent islands. That you guys will be safe. Don't chase after things. You know, life is over things. Get out of there. Get out of Dodge. If Melissa's heading your way right now, Cooper, and the rest of the island, Dave, Torques and Caicos and all that, just get out of Dodge, hunker down, get in the right place. Don't worry about these material things. You know, we can replace material things, but when a life is lost, you'll just be on the way home. Cliche. But yeah, again, welcome, welcome again. I want to just sit back and relax here. I see a bunch of people in the house over here in the arena. Dork, this Bitcoin store of value has been on my heart. And as we are all here in the Bitcoin sphere, so to speak, ecosystem, I use Bitcoin as a reference because that's where the technologies were birthed, right? Bitcoin, when Satoshi Nakamoto came out with the white paper, Ethereum is the derivative of this white paper. So everybody else just tried to come from a different angle to solve different use case. So when I say Bitcoin, it's the technology of blockchain. It's all inclusive. But Bitcoin is king. Bitcoin is immutable, tamper proof. Bitcoin is secure. Bitcoin is inoperable. You can move around without any central control commands, IMF, BIS, banks, regional banks, whatever. It's peer to peer. You can bypass the banks and go right to your loved ones or friends or whatever you're trying to do. This Bitcoin technology has been adopted, so I would say swiftly compared to, when you look at some of the disruptive technologies, it took time. It took time for the iPhone and stuff to gain dominance over, the landline and stuff like that. Everything takes time. I remember Tesla, Tesla was struggling in 2009 and 10, 11, 12. But look at them now. They're the largest producer in the world. So it takes time. Bitcoin is moving at a much more rapid pace, and so when you're studying this technology and you want to align yourself as a store of value, which is the topic today, I would say just from my own experience, studies, and education, and just looking at the charts and just participating in the ecosystem, I can unequivocally state, because when I started buying Bitcoin in 2017, as we were weaning off property investment. And even the Cardone brothers are now coming to this same type of thesis where if you took, I'm gonna take 2017. I mean, if you started way back then, and I wish I'd started even in 2016, I would have made a bigger dent. But coulda, woulda, shoulda. Just taking that, if you were to buy a property, let's say you wanted to buy a property, pound for pound. Back then, Bitcoin was going at like I said, I called it $6,000 average. And let's say you had, I'm just using some math here, right? I'm not saying year or there or anything like this. What I'm saying is, let's look at it mathematically. If you had $100,000 in 2017 and you wanted to dump it all into Bitcoin, right? Then I'm saying that 100,000 today, oh my God. So you would have like what, like 8 point, let's round it off at 9 Bitcoin. It'd be almost $1 million. Yeah, yeah, you would be at $1 million. Your 100,000 would be 10x already. Now let's take that same 100,000 and try to get a property. Emphasis on try. I'm trying to say that Bitcoin store of value, the intrinsic value, unlike some of my favorite investors, big ones that did not see any intrinsic value in Bitcoin. I don't like to go down that road because, like I said, everybody got their own opinion. 10x, if you just set it and forget it, $100,000, you'd be at $1 million right now. I don't know any other asset that would do that for you, right? And that's from 2017, guys. Now, let's look at the comparison here. Try back in 2017 to buy an investment property for the same $100,000. Let's just be real. We ain't getting one. And if we did get one, It's in a neighborhood where the property value probably deteriorated already because you're not going to find, let's say real estate 101, location, location, location. So if you had 100,000 back in 2017, I can just tell you I was on the ground looking for every dilapidated property since 2006 and buying them and fixing them up and housing people. So I have real information from on the ground. If I look back to see what that same 100,000, and being real about it, I found one property. I found one property that we were able to get on a foreclosure, right? For about 89,000. So one. So take that one property and you put the 100,000 there. By the time you pay the tax and the real estate and all of that, and turn this on and pay, you'd be at 100,000. So let's round it up. Yeah, that same property today would not put you at $1 million. It put you at, looking at the comparison in area, about 250,000. So yeah, you would 2.5x. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. I'm not saying properties will not bring you an ROI. What I am saying is Bitcoin, I believe, the investment pound for pound, Bitcoin outperformed by 10x in just this scenario. And that's just the math. Nothing made up, is what I did and in comparison. And I'm just giving you the knowledge here, the information. All right. So this store of value, thank you so much, Nafisa, for the follow. This store of value, I want to relate it in a way today where, okay, Poppy, I really missed Bitcoin. And, we don't have, 100 and whatever, 12,000 and change that it's trading at this morning, last time I checked. So how do I apply this knowledge? Well, I'm glad you asked. You know me. I like to, well, can't talk to you. It's your one-on-one. I got to make it interesting. Watch this. So there is a coin called XRP. There is the coin called XLM. There is a coin called Ondo. There is a coin called XDC. There is the coin called Solana. I can go on and on and on and on and on. I left out Ethereum only because the price tag is up there too, And when we're looking at these type of X's, with the first comparison that we used, then your 10,000 into XRP will only give you like 1.75 or something right now. And even if it doubled, you still only double. You're not going to 10x like that. That's why I left it off. Now for investors that has liquid, dry powder sitting on the sideline, they want a more traditional, safe investment. Then yeah, Ethereum. Because if you are up there with your investment portfolio and you have $100,000, using the same scenario, same numbers, you have $100,000. Oh yeah, AVAX. We're in the arena. AVAX. I'm invested in AVAX arena tokens. So you have all of these avenues you can still take and apply what I did. Remember, I said that 100,000 back then. If you were using that scenario at $6,000 a Bitcoin, then you would have been a millionaire today. But if you had put it into property, and I want to simplify it like that. Well, what are the coins that you can rinse and repeat this same scenario? I just mentioned them off just now. We're in the arena here. So arena, SocialFi, with all of the stuff we got going and what's to come. We got Avalanche, because we're sitting on Avalanche right here. That can make some serious moves. XRP, let me slow down right here. Solana, XRP. Let's look at, and I'll put Ethereum in there for the traditional investors that like a more robust liquidity coin. So yeah, I'll throw that in there. But as far as for the runners, I'm talking about the 5x, 10x, 20x type runners. I mentioned the RWAs. RWAs, real world asset tokenization. And now what they're doing with the new technology, that's the 402 technology that they're talking about. Don't get me wrong, if I got that number right, where AI is integrated into this technology. where the 20,022 compliance remittance rail are embedded in the H bars and all of that to go along with the banks and moving money cross border. This RWA, I believe, asset class, is where if I were you, thanks for coming in, MS. Thanks to, hey, how you doing? Serena, thanks for coming in. Y'all know I don't like to type. I got my little two index finger here, and when I get into my zone. But thank you all for coming in and to jumping on board. Let's reset and get the mind focused. Where there's focus, there's results. So we talked about the intrinsic value that the world, the governments, the SEC, the IMS, the BIS, everybody now, the banks, the institutions are coming to realize that this disruptive blockchain technology deemed Bitcoin is real. And so all the laws are coming around. We got the Genius Act passed. We brought stable coins. They're working on the Clarity Act right now so that all of these institutions know how to deal with this technology without getting into being out of compliance. So all of that now is here. So the coin that I'm mentioning, not financial advice, it's all educational. Just want you to know that. Please do your own research. But I've done a lot of digging in the trenches over the past 8 years. So the cross-border remittance and the tokenization of real-world assets combined with the AI ability there in one is where I am most focused now, and where you can catch most of your coins at a point where if it runs, when it runs, I should say, you can do a more of a 5-10x type of thing. Again, not financial advice. I did mention I've been holding XRP. I told you all that from since way back then. Okay, as far as XLM, I was last. I remember I was doing some spaces last August, right? Last August, July, August, I was in the trenches. I'm telling I was focused on most of the disenfranchised people around the world. Those stages were geared to them. And then the upper echelons of investors could adjust themselves accordingly. It's relative to you how much you can put in. But my focus back last July, August was to tell every disenfranchised person around the world, same thing, if you think Bitcoin is too high, let's get in some XLM. Let's pick up some XRPs. At the time, XLM was fluctuating between 8-9 cents, sometimes touch 10 cents, and come back. And I said, if you can do and apply the diamond hand or the hodler mentality like Bitcoin, and you do it on XLM, XRP, Ondo, HBAR was down there like 5 cents. Yeah. All of these coins now are still in play for RWAs, for financial payments, for cross-border remittances, to wean us off of the Fifi family. The Fifi family is the ones that charge you like MoneyGram. You try to send $100 home as a kid from a student from another country to send money back home. You get 10% shaved off the top or whatever. Now you can do it for pennies, right? So this is the area that I was saying. I was saying, okay, XLM was about 8-9 cents. HBAR was about 5 cents, 6 cents, fluctuating. And I said to everyone, and I preached it for like 3 months, if you can set and forget at least HBAR XLM. XRP is like about 48 cents. It just was stuck there forever. But look at it. It already 5x from there, right? So even with XRP, if you didn't have, and I remember I was talking to disenfranchised people, right? Low income people are really struggling. That was my target. And then I always put on there, if you're listening as a seasoned investor, then you apply yourself accordingly, right? But the intrinsic value of Bitcoin, the technology, blockchain, has now, you can now put that over to XRP, XLM, Solana, whatever it is you like. You guys got all kinds. It's so much stuff out there that's doing well that just do your research and just pick one, right? I'm always like diversified. Back in 2017, I had like 30 of them. So, you don't have to do that much. You don't need every horse to win the race. You just need the top three, right? You're going to get a payout. So, just do it to where you can control it. And because it drives you crazy. Like you get in this you when they start running, and it goes both ways. If it's running up, you get a euphoric feel, like, oh my god, this is not even real. Like when am I supposed to take profit, or is it going to run some more? So you're stuck between this greed and euphoric feel. Let me just call it what it is, okay? Um, so you have to apply. Let me send out some more bread here. We have to apply take profit strategies. Yeah, we have to put them in place, because if we don't, then you will round trip it. You will round trip. You will. I can give you some scenarios, and I've done a few round tripped stuff there, and I still do some, in the little portfolios that I'm dealing with in leverage and stuff like that. So take profit. I like to say, when you double, depending on your situation, if you take your initial investment out, you're playing with house money and you could no longer lose. And then you manage. So, for instance, if you put in $100 and you get $200, I'm just using this as an example, you take $100 off, the coin is still running, but you already know there is no way I can lose this game because I got my original investment out. And then if it's going to 5x, that's where that balance between greed and taking profits to be able to invest in something else, live to fight another day, so to speak. So this coin is running depending on your situation. Again, you're doing your research, you're looking at the news, the laws are coming out, the big liquidity investors are coming in, you're doing your work. This thing is not just sitting there, you know, and like, oh, I don't have to do nothing. No, you got to monitor everything. You got to monitor everything. You keep on it. Yeah? You got to work at it. Where there's focus, there's results. So you adjust, you take some profit, you keep your runners running, and then, like I said, you look out for catastrophic events like a war or some change in policy or something like this. You got to look at the broader market. All of these things to be able to manage your positions skillfully, so that you can come out ahead of the game. That has a lot being said right there. I really wanted to put out the intrinsic value. I gave you tons of coins, including what we're doing here in the arena. I want to say this one thing here also. And I'll use XRP for this intrinsic value illustration. I remember XRP, when it was at 19 cents, every other coin was running. And I'm speaking to the arena people right now. Back in 2017, when everything started running, XRP stayed around 19 cents forever. And you may feel like I'm in the arena token is doing like forever, right? But what was I focused on with XRP? The utility, what it was made to solve, which is you're seeing it today, very evident, and that everybody needs it. Everybody needs to be saving these fees, these high fees for cross-border remittances. It's scalable, secure. It is compliance with the new regulations that's coming to move assets around the world. All of that, and at the time, Brad Garlinghouse, they're in bed with. I remember Christina Lagarde from the IMF, still is, and talking to all of the big giants. And now I believe they're like operating in 131 countries. They were putting in the work. They're putting in the work. You hear Jason Desimone said, we're putting in the work. No matter what's going on, we're building, right? This is what XRP was doing. And it was stagnant. And so if you're, you're looking for a quick return, like, hey, it's not running, you take your money out, then you buy something at the top, and then that crash, you could have been right here, just patient. Which leads me to another thing, but I don't want to digress too far. You have to have different bags that's doing different things. Like your long-term bags, like my XRP. Okay, I'm looking at the infrastructure, looking at what they're doing on the ground, looking at who they're courting, and all of this, right? So okay, that bag is there. Now, okay, if I want a little runner, and Solana is a runner, Then you got a little bag. You take some profits. You go in and out because you don't want to be bored. You day trade that a little bit, along with a few other coins, and then you'll see patterns. You'll see patterns like, oh, this thing go right here, it comes back down. There's two for anybody that's an Aster right now. Aster and I play around a little bit. Aster and what's the War Liberty Finance, the Trump organization coin, uh, store value uh, reserve. So that, and what's the other one? Oh yeah, that Zora, right? I'm noticing because when I check their tokenomics, which is another thing you got to do, how much they got out there in supply, how much they can make, if they can keep making it. But I'm noticing a pattern on them three right there, and they're notorious for running up to running up like 10%, then coming, then giving that up, running up to 10%. And so if you are a day trader, I'm just saying, I noticed the pattern in those three. And so I caught the bottom and I round tripped them already twice, which is why I'm saying I know this pattern. I round tripped them around because I'm thinking, okay. But see, what I'm saying is when you stick into it, you start seeing the pattern. You start seeing the pattern. So them two right there, three strikes, you're out. When they go up again, I'm taking my profits and I'm waiting for the bottom because that's what they're doing. And some of these companies are notorious companies. Some of these coins are notorious. You know, they they do what they do in the stock market. They liquidate you, right? You run it up and then they bring it down because they dump more coins on you, right? They run it up and they bring it down. So when you see that channel, for all of you 2, 3x, and 5x max, 2, 3x, 5x max leverage traders. That's a nice challenge. That's a nice channel to trade in if you're a day trader. I just noticed that on those right there. I round trip them 2 times already because you need a couple of times to see. But when I look back at their chart, you can see also they were charting this way for a while. BT, how are you? Welcome in, my friend. So there are things there that you can do. You don't have to sit around and get discouraged trying to figure out Bitcoin. When you figure out Bitcoin, you let me know because those are my set it and forget it. So I don't think about it. XRP, I don't think about it. HBAR, I don't think about it. I don't think about XLM. I just set it and forget it. This is the attitude that, and that attitude came from since that I'm making this comparison to properties. Any property investor, when they go buy a piece of land or a house or whatever, remodeling a hotel or whatever it is you're doing with properties, we never think about, oh, I'm gonna buy this property and flip it next week. No, you ride through the storms, you ride through the ups and the downs because the vision and the ROI performer is long term. So we really don't look at the movements. Oh, the interest rate is high, so people are not buying and blah blah. No, no, you're long term, right? And then just like cryptocurrency, you apply the same thing with your investment properties. Buy low, sell high. That's it. You want to know the trick to trading? Buy low, sell high. I got nothing else for you. The discipline to be able to do that is the question. When you buy low, can you sell high? Or what's notorious for 90% of traders is buy high, sell low. The very opposite. It's psychology is something else. And I'm chuckling because when I say it, it's so simple. If you want to be a really good trader, you're not going to win all the time, but make sure that your wins are stacking up over your losses. That's life. Buy low, sell high. It takes discipline, patience, which we have to throw in there as information. Discipline, patience, and not be greedy. Discipline, patience, not be greedy. Buy low, sell high. That's it. That's the formula, right? You do that, you'll be a successful trader. We have to, and I'll throw one more because it's psychology too, right? Take the emotions out of it, please. And I'm speaking to arena people now. Take the emotions out of it. This is a social file platform. So naturally, as a social platform, we get attached to some of our people and supporters, and they put out a coin and we get all into it, and the coin is not moving, or they rug 98% of them, and then you get your feelings hurt. Well, if you were back in 2016, 17, and you were investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP and Dogecoin, Dogecoin to the moon, Elon, Dogecoin to the moon, and you bought it at 69 cents or 70 cents because you think it's going to $1 because we were late to the party when people like myself were holding it from 0.003, right? You didn't buy low, and you definitely bought the top. And then Elon got, and it dumped. So you got all these bag holders from 72 cents after that SNL, whatever that was. Thanks, Elon. That Dogecoin never seen the light of day since. But what I'm saying is buy low, sell high, right? Don't chase the top. If you find yourself chasing the top, think about it, stop, take the emotions out of it, and ask yourself, there's going to be another train. I missed that train, right? Or I'm going to wait for that nasty pullback. Patience. That's where the patience come in. Yeah. So all of these things is what I have ascertained, learned, and experienced over the past 8 years dealing with cryptocurrencies from the Bitcoin class of 2017. I thought I wanted to share it today because the market has been very volatile over the past couple of 3 weeks, right? It has created the last week. We talked last week about analysis paralysis. That was the topic last week. How, Bitcoin and these other alts and everything has gotten us into a mindset of analysis paralysis. I don't know if it's going to continue to run. And when I think it's going to run, it dump. And when I think it's going to dump some more, it goes up. Analysis paralysis. The inability, even if you have dry powder, to execute a position with conviction. And I'm guilty for it. I don't touch it, point blank. I just don't. If I do touch it, whenever this indecisive or market don't like uncertainty, right? Anyway, we like certainty. So when Bitcoin is doing this and one day it's running like it's going to the moon, next day it turns back like I'm coming back to earth, it's analysis paralysis. That's what we talked about last week in the broader sense, hey Sky, of trading. So to ease the minds and to bring some clarity and refocused, press the reset button. I decided today wanted to talk about the intrinsic value around the Bitcoin and every other utility token, including the RWAs that I mentioned just now, so that we can reset, calm down, the world is not falling apart, and put a plan in place of how to move forward. So I gave you the RWA plays, with XRP and Ondo. And today, by the way, the FOMC, the meeting here with the Fed lowering the rates. I think that's due for 2:30, I believe, Eastern. Not sure, but we may see some more volatility. It might move to the top. It might run to the bottom. When I'm playing a market like this, anticipating this news from the Feds, Jerome, what I would do is in my short term, well, my long term bags, I don't touch them. My short term plays, like if you want to do 5x leverage, that's it, no more than that. But I also caught that 5x leverage at one of those bottoms. So let's say you want to make up some grounds, but you want to do it safely. Then you would say, okay, Bitcoin blast off to 115,000. And then it pulled back to 111, 112. So you caught that bottom because you're anticipating through the rumor, the Fed news and the rate cut will bring more liquidity into the market. So you caught the bottom and you 5x there, not financial advice. Do it. You're doing it at your own risk. But that's what I did. So now what your leverage play will show you is, all right, your entry point on whether it's Solana or Bitcoin or AVAX. As Bitcoin moves, a lot of them do the same doggone thing. That's why I keep mentioning Bitcoin. Good to see you there, Mohammed. Thanks for coming in. You guys, I hope you're getting some value out of there. You guys are doing good in the chat. I appreciate each and every one of you, not just over here on the arena, but on X as well as YouTube that we're pushing out to. I told you guys that I'm seeking to go wider with this knowledge. I'm not selfish about it. God has been good to me. You all see me balance the bread of heaven and all of that. And in all of you are get knowledge, right? Wisdom and understanding. So this is what this is about today. I feed you spiritual food a lot, but we still have to deal with everyday bills on the ground. And we got to be focused about it, right? We're not in this game just to be playing around. We're in this ecosystem, first of all, so that we can find an avenue, a lane with this new disruptive technology to better ourselves, our loved ones, and our families. That's why you go to work. That's why you go to school. It's no different here. So when we come in with that mindset that we're focused and what we cannot be reckless. We have to be thoughtful. We have to take emotions out. This is a busyness. This is a business. Stay busy with the focus on what you need to execute. Yeah, Ronnie, good to see you in the house. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mr. T. I see you. I see you. I see you guys. So that's what you're here for. If you're here to play, fine. Everybody don't need money, But last I checked, them taxes and them bills, they're certain every single month. I don't care if it's food prices are up. You got to get some money, right? And the Bible says, money answereth all things, but the love or the greed of money is the root of all evil. Let's complete that in the other text. But we need it. It answers all things. And yes, God has given us the power to create wealth according to Deuteronomy 8:18, so that we can establish what we need to get done here on this earth. It's needed. It's not evil. The love of it is evil. And what does that mean? If you love money so much that you will steal from your brother or your friends or your project co investors, then that's evil. That's all it is. It's very simple. Don't knock somebody over the head for it. A lot of people get killed. Like you got a lot of Bitcoin and stuff. You got to be careful. I'll come knock you over the head. But it's the same with gold or anything else. So that's the evil part, right? When you are doing evil deeds to get to the money, that's where the scripture says the love of money is the root of all evil. My task to talk about money in a way where when I'm bringing the word of God, people will say, well, first of all, I don't ask. Y'all know I don't ask nobody for a dime. In the arena, we do have a tipping culture, and we tip, I tip, they tip. It's fun. You see the confetti rolling down. It's cool. But know this, whether I'm on X, whether I'm over here in the arena, send up to YouTube, you don't see me asking anybody for anything. Why? Because Jesus supplied all of my needs according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus. I've learned that in some ways. I've learned that like when the devil was tempting Jesus, saying, if you are the Son of God, turn this stone into bread. And then Jesus replied, man shall not live by bread alone. Yeah. Or when he tried to tempt him again further up the mountain, that, if you're the Son of God or whatever, all you got to do is bow down and worship me and I'll give you kingdoms. He's talking to the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, who rule over heaven and earth. And the devil is trying to tell Jesus, if you just bow, I'll give you kingdoms. That's funny. It's just funny. Like when you know who the Son of God is, part of the Godhead, and you're trying to tell him the kingdoms and the heaven and the earth that he created, you're going to give him a fraction of it. Funny stuff. Hey, Emily, how are you? Good to see you in the house. Good to see you in the house. Welcome there. So let's get back to focus here. How can we put some intrinsic value back into the mindset of how we are going about dealing with these coins and the technology? First, I would say, I already gave you some alpha coins. Okay. If we don't have the liquidity, dry powder, extra cash to put into Bitcoin because it's gone. Ethereum is up there. Solana is going to do good. ETFs and stuff that coming out, and but you got XRP, HBAR, XLM, Mondo, and you got Arena and AVAX. So try to keep it tight because these projects are building. And I'm not saying you don't have a small bag over there where you can do some leverage, but don't touch these over here. This is how you do. This is what we did from 2017. We didn't chase coins up and down all over the place. You believed in the technology. We talked about the technology, the Dogecoin community, all of this stuff, and you hold that like the Arena community. Like Arena should be like Dogecoin community. Like everybody that's in the Arena should, I believe, is my opinion. If you want to be like Dogecoin that commands billions in market cap, it's a community. They all hold Doge. Want to make Arena like that? Yes, we can do some of these launches and this and that, but the Arena token is what's taking everything with it. Arena for this SocialFi platform is becoming like the Bitcoin because when we go to layer one, according to Jason in 2026, every project that comes in will be built on the layer one Arena, thus generating all the fees, like, for those projects to run and sustain the growth, right? With every other perks that comes along with the Arena token. So when you're talking about community building, if you don't have Arena in your portfolio and you're sitting in the Arena, ask the Dogecoin people how that works out. Because last time I checked, and I don't want to quote the billions of market cap that they're at right now, but they haven't broke since inception off the derivative. Yeah. So this is the mentality. You have to have your hodler bag or diamond hand, so to speak, have that bag there. Don't touch it. Be disciplined. How many of us, if you had gotten XRP at 19 cents or even last year at 48 cents, 50 cents, you're 5x already and waiting to go 10. The discipline to not touch it. Y'all got me preaching in the doggone Bitcoin form today. What y'all doing? Anywho, man shall not live by bread alone. I want to touch one more thing because the hour is 6 minutes into it, the hour of power, and you guys have been fantastic. You always show up so strong over in the Arena. I appreciate y'all so much, so much. We're going to have who we have coming in right now. So I'm just going to go like another 15 minutes, so cool down. And I believe that enough has been said. Let me send out some more bread here. You guys are amazing coming in here. I appreciate you. But I want to talk about something I put up earlier because the next time you see me will be Sunday and Halloween would have been over. I put out a flyer this morning and the flyer simply said that beware, spiritual warfare, Halloween, a gateway drug. And I use that word drug because physically, I wasn't really talking in the physical realm when I say drug. What I do mean in the spiritual realm, it is the day where Satan and Satanism is being celebrated. Yeah. So that's why I put that fly out there. I am not saying to anyone, you have your own prerogative, do whatever you want to do. But just like I would warn you about a scam token, and then tell you how Bitcoin and Ethereum and Avalanche and Solana and everything will get you, a little more financially independent. It behooves me as a man of God coming out of the scriptures to give you the warning. Now you have all the right to do what you will with that information. I am not trying to tell you don't celebrate. What I'm saying is just like marijuana is a gateway drug that some people feel they're invincible to, only to see they have a craving for a higher high, a higher high. And then Satan uses that to take them further than they ever plan on going, hold them longer than they ever plan on staying, and cost them more than they ever thought they would pay. I am saying Halloween is that convenient way of worshiping Satan, the arch enemy of Yeshua, our Messiah. And so that's like me saying Bitcoin is a way better investment uh, than some of these. I can't use that fishies coins. Let me put it like that. Same knowledge. So when you accept me for giving the financial information, if I were to tell you, hey, like I was telling some of my friends, they see me do properties and then they come to me in 2019, 2020 when the houses they were buying them, over asking, should I buy this? I'm like, no, don't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Did they listen? No. But I told them my opinion. And a lot of them had to put their house back on market, trying to doggone sell it to salvage because it's on the water. So the same thing here, right? Imagine this. Every decoration you see, everything is geared towards giving worship to the most vile, demonic looking stuff. Ray Charles can see that, wait a minute now, who am I really bigging up, giving kudos to here, right? And so if you are a believer in the Most High God, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you follow. This is for the ones that are following. If you don't believe in God, it's okay. Like I said, when I tell you about the fishies coin, you don't have to buy it. You might and get rugged. I don't know. I'm just saying, stay away. That's the same thing, right? Don't get mad at Poppy. I will say this too. If you were to get mad at me, because I can't control that either, remember the words that are written in the Bible, they're not mine. I was commanded in Mark chapter 15, verse 16, to go into all the world and share this gospel. The one that Jesus wrote and said, hey, if you're really my disciple, share it so others can hear the good news. So when I put together the financial, beneficial, educational spaces, and I mix it with a little gospel there, what I'm doing is I'm trying to give you the best of both worlds according to how the Lord is giving it to me. And I love you just like Christ loved you. And I will say this before we bring this to the top of the hour of power. I want to say this right here. When Jesus walked the earth, just a little side note, just a little side note. All of the people that were looking for Jesus throughout the Old Testament, all the prophecies, all of the writings, all of the laws, when he came, most of them didn't accept him, right? Most of them didn't accept him. You talking about a man that raised the sick, raised the dead, healed the sick, give sight to the blind. I'm talking about a man that when he walked, real life people is seen in real life time how this man has the power to do all of these miracles. And yet today, people are like, well, prove it to me. I'm like, the centurion soldier, he believed and he got his house, you know, healed in his house. His servant, he was right there. He believed. The thief on the cross, he believed and he got saved right on the cross. But the majority, when I say the majority, I mean like in the 90 something percentile, did not accept Jesus Christ. So what I'm saying is when I give you this, Jesus was walking and they didn't believe. It's up to you. It's your prerogative. I'm just showing you, like I'm showing you Fishi's coin, showing you intrinsic value coin. You eat off of that table, pick out whatever you want. It's the Smuggage board, but you can't say Poppy didn't try to at least share so you can look and bring some awareness to some of these things, right? And then this last thing I'm going to say, we're on the top because X, I'm going to close X out. Hour of Power. All of you on X, I really appreciate you for coming in. All of you on YouTube, the Hour of Power is on the top, and I will go ahead and close it out. But the arena, stick around. I will cool down with you over here. I like to keep this at a certain, because of X and YouTube, so that because those are recorded, okay? So I don't want to put out too much over there. Where's my YouTube? That's my YouTube right there. Let's end that.